Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and your phone is silent. No notifications, no Instagram stories, no TikTok feed waiting for you, nothing. Sounds peaceful, right? But if I asked you to actually do that, to delete social media for just 1 week, most of you would feel a little anxious just thinking about it. And that anxiety, that's not a coincidence. That's your brain telling you something very important. Today, we are going to talk about what actually happens to your mind, your mood, your sleep, and your energy when you step away from social media. And I promise you, the science behind this is going to genuinely surprise you. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might want to put your phone down too. Let's start with the most important question. Why is it so hard to stop scrolling in the first place? The answer is one word: dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in your brain. It is the chemical of motivation, of anticipation, of I want more every time you get a like on your photo. Every time a new notification pops up. Every time you see something surprising on your feed, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. Now here is the dangerous part. Social media platforms are specifically engineered to trigger this response. The infinite scroll, the unpredictable notifications. The someone just commented on your post, alerts, these are not accidents. Behavioral scientists call this a variable reward system. It is the exact same psychological mechanism used in slot machines. Your brain starts to crave these quick hits, and over time, just like with any addiction, it adapts. It starts producing less dopamine on its own, so now you need more scrolling just to feel normal. Scientists actually have a name for this state. They call it a dopamine deficit. You are no longer scrolling to feel good. You are scrolling just to avoid feeling bad, and the worst part. This happens gradually, quietly, without you even noticing, until one day you realize you have been lying in bed scrolling for 2 hours and you still feel empty. Sound familiar? A major 2025 study conducted with over 35,000 participants, one of the largest of its kind, found that simply deactivating Facebook or Instagram improved people's emotional well-being in a meaningful way. Not after months, after just a few weeks. But before we get to the benefits, let's talk about what the first few days of a social media break actually feel like. Because it is not all sunshine. Day one, you delete the apps. Or maybe you just log out and immediately, you feel the urge to check. You pick up your phones, you unlock it, you look for the icon that is not there anymore. And then you put it down. 5 minutes later, you do the same thing again. This is withdrawal, and it is completely real. Experts say that in the first 24 to 72 hours of stopping social media, many people experience restlessness, boredom, a low-level anxiety, and even irritabilities. Your brain is used to constant stimulation. Now it has to sit with quiet. And quiet, for a brain that has been trained on dopamine hits every few minutes, feels deeply uncomfortable. Some people report picking up their phone out of pure muscle memory, just habit, with no conscious thought. Others feel a strange fear. What am I missing right now? This is what researchers call FOMO, fear of missing out. Here is what I want you to understand about this phase. The discomfort you feel in these first days, that is not a sign you made a mistake. That is actually a sign it is working. Your brain is resetting. The reward pathways are recalibrating. The craving is the withdrawal, and withdrawal means your brain is breaking the cycle. Research tells us that most people find the detox easier than they expected. Once they get past day 2 or 3 and settle into a new rhythm, they actually start to enjoy it. So what happens next? After the first few uncomfortable days, something shifts. The first thing most people notice is their sleep. Social media keeps your brain in a state of high alert. The blue light from your screen suppresses melatonin, the hormone your body needs to fall asleep. But more than that, the emotional stimulation, the arguments you read, the comparison you feel, the highlights reels of other people's lives, keeps your nervous system activated late into the night. When you remove that stimulation, your body starts to recover its natural sleep rhythm. People in detox studies reported falling asleep faster, sleeping more deeply, and waking up feeling actually rested. Some reported this within just the first 3 or 4 days. The second change is your mood. A published study from the University of Bath followed 154 people across different age groups. Half were asked to stop all social media for 1 week. The other half continued normally. The results: The group that took the break showed significant improvements in well-being and measurable reductions in depression and anxiety compared to the group that kept scrolling. 1 week, that is all it took. Why? Because a huge driver of anxiety and depression on social media is comparison. You see someone's perfect vacation, their perfect body, their perfect relationship, and unconsciously your brain starts comparing your real, messy, behind-the-scenes life to their carefully filtered highlight reel. When you step away, you stop feeding that comparison loop. And slowly, you start to see your own life more clearly. The third change, and this one surprises people the most, is focus. Social media trains your brain for short bursts, reels, shorts, tweets. Your attention span gets shorter and shorter without you realizing it. When you take a break, your brain starts to recover its ability to concentrate for longer. People report being able to read again, to work without constantly checking their phone, to have real conversations without the urge to pull out their device. A major study published in JAMA Network Open in late 2025 followed 373 young adults between ages 18 and 24. 80% of those participants voluntarily chose to do a 1-week detox after seeing their own data. And the results showed significant reductions in depression, anxiety, and insomnia, all within 7 days. 7 days, 1 week. The same amount of time you spend mindlessly scrolling could instead be the exact time it takes to start healing your brain. And here is the most fascinating finding of all. People who took the break did not always stop using the internet. Some switched to YouTube or other platforms, but they still felt better. Which means it is not just about screen time, it is specifically about what social media does to your brain. The comparison, the unpredictable rewards, the performative validation. So here is my challenge to you: 7 days, just 7 days. You do not have to delete your accounts forever. You do not have to disappear from the internet. Just pick one platform, the one you spend the most time on, and take a 1-week break starting this Sunday. Here is what I want you to notice during those 7 days. Notice when you automatically reach for your phone. Notice how the urge feels and then watch it pass. Notice your sleep on day 3. Notice whether conversations feel different. Notice whether you start to feel bored and then, past the boredom, whether you start to feel something else. Something quieter, something that might be peace. Your brain is not broken. It has just been trained, and the beautiful thing about the brain is it can be retrained. Neurologists call this neuroplasticity. Your brain changes based on what you give it. Give it silence for a week, and it will start to remember what it feels like to just exist. Social media is not going anywhere. The apps will still be there in a week. Your followers will still be there, but you might come back with new eyes. More intentional, less reactive, more in control of your own attention. And your attention, where you put it, how you protect it. What you let it be pulled toward is one of the most valuable things you own. So take it back. If this video made you think, please share it with someone who you think needs a break. And drop in the comments, have you ever taken a social media detox? How did it go? I would love to hear your story. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.